Okay, so this is the assignment TinkerCAD Gym, where we will be making weights. I'm not going to use the slideshow here just because the slideshow kind of explains the longer way to do this, and I'll show you the quicker way to do it. So you're going to insert a cylinder. You're going to take the bevel and make it 0.75, so 0.75. You can just type that. You'll notice that it rounds it just a little bit. It's the only time we're going to need bevel, so you can send it up after that. Now we're going to make the dimensions for this one 10 by 10 with a height of 4. You should take what we've made and rotate it 90 degrees. When you do that, you'll notice it goes underneath the plate. So you want to take the arrow, bring it up to the plate, and copy paste it. A lot of copy pasting, a lot of moving the weights and moving things around with the arrows. Now we're going to insert a new cylinder. The cylinder will be 5 by 5 with a height of 15. And then we will take this one and once again rotate it 90 degrees. So there's a lot of rotating in this assignment as well. So we can take this is going to be the handle of the weight. And something we can do, which might be a good idea, would be to make sure that the weights are actually going into it. You don't want to go too far where it's sticking out, or even you could see the circle. You want it to be touching just barely, something like that. And something like that would be perfect. So this is the first time we're going to use the vertical line. So if you highlight this, the whole thing, it should say shapes 3. You press align. Now this is where you actually will press this middle one to align it perfectly vertically. And you want to press the middle one there and then group it. It might not be as in your face in this one, but what you always want to do after using that vertical line is you want to lift it up and make sure that it's on the plate. Reason why is, unlike when you're using the length or width align, I'll show you with this example. I'm going to put 2 spheres on the plate. If you lift one of them up, if I wanted to align these vertically, you might notice it doesn't bring the top one down to the bottom one's level, or the bottom one up to the top one's level. What it does is it moves both of them. It brings it brings the bottom one up halfway and the top one down halfway. So when you're doing this, that will start lifting things off the plate or even pushing things underneath the plate, and we're not going to want that. So we have this group. We're going to copy and paste it. And what we're going to do is ungroup this, the whole thing, take one of the plates, delete it, take the other plate, rotate it 90 degrees, and now instead of 10 by 10, you're just going to increase both by 5. So it's going to be 15 by 15. You increase the height by 1, so it goes up to 5. And then you go back to 90 degrees. And we're going to make sure that it's fitting into that handle. So that looks like it fits. And this looks like it fits. So highlight. And then same thing. We're going to vertically align it this way, group it, and lift it so that it's on the plate. So we do that kind of 3 times in a row now. So we copy and paste this, and it's really going to be, this part is a tad redundant. So ungroup, take the plate, delete it, take this plate, rotate it 90 degrees, make this 20 by 20. We raise the height 1, so it goes from 5 to 6, and then we rotate it back. Make sure that it is, and this is a good point to use the arrows, good, and copy and paste this weight, good. As long as it's pushing into the handle, you're fine. Just try not to push it in too much, but that should be fine. So align it this way, group, and lift it off the plate. So that number on the right should say 0 when you do that. Notice when you're doing this work, the size of the handles never changes. That's something to keep in mind as well. So now last one, we're going to take that weight and delete it. We are going to rotate 90 degrees. Now you're going to make this 25 by 25. Raise the height up 1 to 7 and rotate it. So none of this, what I'm doing, should be new. We've done that. the previous 3 weights. Okay, and good, that's in. Same thing now, we're gonna align it. And group, and raise it up to the plate. So now we have this sort of bigger view. I'm gonna move it around because ultimately I know in the end I'm gonna end up copy and pasting some of these, so I want to make sure that there's a room. Right now that seems fine. Now we wanna have this view. With this view, you wanna take each thing and individually ungroup it. So what you're gonna do, the reason why you're ungrouping it is it should say shapes 12, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna paint these weights now. So I'm gonna hold shift and hold it the whole time, click all the handles, paint the handles gray, and then I'm gonna hold shift again and click all the weights. Should say shapes 8 up here, and I'm gonna paint the weights black, and then you're gonna go back and individually highlight these and group them. When you group them, they should turn all the same color, but you wanna press multicolor to send it back to its original coloring. So you kind of have to individually group, and then since it turns the whole thing, in this case black, then we will regroup it, or not regroup it, we will multicolor it. So we're almost done at this point. What we're gonna do is we're gonna insert text. We're gonna make the weights of the numbers now. So I'm gonna write 10, I'm gonna make the dimensions 5 by 5 with a height of 2. And I'm gonna leave that table kind of up there. Here's what I do here. I'm going to rotate this 90 degrees now. I'm gonna put it close to the weight. I'm gonna copy paste it. Bring this number close to this. I'm gonna write 15. I'm gonna copy paste it. I'm gonna bring this over to this, and I'm gonna write 20. And then I'm gonna copy paste it again. I'm gonna write 25 for this. Okay. So now what we do is pretty similar to what we did before, where you are going to vertically and horizontally align the number with the weight now. And then you click the weight and you push it so that it's going into the weight and group it. Same thing here. We go vertically align, horizontally align, click the number, make sure it's going in, group it. And here we're doing the same thing now every time with these numbers. So vertically align and group it. Ooh, I don't think I moved that one enough, to be honest. So I'm gonna push that in a little more. Good. Now I group it, and same thing with these. Here, here, and group it. Now, one thing that I forgot to do here was a lot of these have been pushed under the plate now. So you want to lift them up, make sure that they're all perfectly level with the plate. So that number on the right should say 0. And same thing with this. Good. Now we have a top view. Now, instead of now we can just copy and paste, because usually these weights come in pairs. Copy, paste. Copy, paste. And finally, copy, paste. But now we have pairs of all these weights. Everything's looking good. I like to highlight everything and align it just to make sure everything is kind of going in the right direction. And the last thing is to write your first name, or hashtag, your first name and gym. And then I like to make this, we should make the dimensions 30 by 150 and put this close to the weights. And now pretty much get a good enough zoom in and screenshot. So this would be a perfect screenshot. What I'm looking for are all the weights are different sizes. The numbers are centered in the weights. You wrote the right thing with the name. The handles are all gray and the same size. The plates are not under the ground. These are the things that I'm looking for. So this is the gym assignment. A lot of rotating, a lot of grouping, ungrouping, things like that. But I know you'll do a great job. Thanks for watching.